Georgia coach Kirby Smart has a massive decision on his hands, and that is when to play five-star freshman cornerback Ellis Robinson, because I think now is the time. The three trio cornerbacks of Dalen Everett, Julian Humphrey, Daniel Harris, it's not cutting it right now. It's just not. Georgia definitely has some concerns in the secondary, particularly at cornerback. And I think it's only a matter of time before we see Ellis Robinson. He was a top 5 prospect in the country out of high school last year. 6 foot, 180 pounds. He's long, he's athletic, he's technically sound, he's got great feet, he's got fluid hips, he can play the ball. He actually made a big play at the end of the Mississippi State game in the end zone where he turns around, he follows the football, makes a play on it, catches the ball, but falls out of bounds. But even on that one play, you're thinking, wow, this kid knows what he's doing. And I'm not saying the others don't. I'm just saying that a change needs to be made because Mississippi State just threw for 300 yards on you. And I know it's not ideal to throw out a true freshman cornerback playing against a really good quarterback in Quinn Ewers on the road against the number 1 team in the country. I get all that, right? That sounds like an upcoming disaster. But they got to make a change somewhere. These cornerbacks just aren't it. And we're seeing that Georgia really misses both Javon Bullard, even though they're not playing nearly as bad, I think, at safety as they are at cornerback. But they're missing Kamari Laster. That kid just brought a little bit extra. He brought more toughness that we haven't seen from the 3 cornerbacks so far this year. He just plays hard. He was aggressive. He knew how to make a big play in the backfield, but he could cover too, and he's having a really nice rookie season. Kamari Laster also loved Georgia with everything in his being. Javon Bullard loved everything about Georgia in his being. They were both Georgia natives too. I don't know if Dalen Everett loves Georgia the way those two did. I don't know if Julian Humphrey and Daniel Harris loved Georgia and loved the program the way Kamari Laster did. They don't lead like Kamari Laster. They don't play like Kamari Laster. They don't practice like Kamari Laster. But it's Kirby's job and the staff's job to get someone to be, prepared to come right after Kamari Laster, like Kamari Laster came right after Keely Ringo, who came after, Eric Stokes and that crew, DeAndre Baker. We've seen elite cornerbacks come through Athens. They don't have one right now. This is what Kirby Smart had to say about Ellis Robinson after the Mississippi State game. Someone said, hey, when might we see more of this young, talented freshman? He said he's had the 2 best weeks of practice that he's had. You can hear him talking in walkthroughs. You can hear him communicating. You can see him doing things. And he had a really good week of practice this week. He got better, Kirby added. He competed. He did some things. And you can see him understanding the defense. This offense was very different. So if it had been a traditional offense, he probably would have played earlier in the game. But they have a really wide splits. He had to make different checks. They do hurry up. It makes it really tough on communication when you play that kind of game against people. But I'm proud of him and his growth, how much he's gotten better. Wish we could have gotten him in the game earlier. So listen, Kirby Smart's even saying, hey, we're trying to play this kid. We need to play this kid. And if Mississippi State didn't have such kind of a weird, different style of offense that made it difficult for young players, maybe we should have played him more, right? But we've seen KJ Bolden at safety. And again, Malachi Starks, he's a very, very good player. Could he play better? I think so. I think Dan Jackson's given you every ounce of what he has. He's given you everything he has. You can't ask for much more from Dan Jackson. Janelle Aguero could be playing better. And then KJ Bolden's just a freshman. So still, safety's fine, even though they, as a group, could play better. It's a cornerback. It's Dalen Everett getting sucked in when he's not supposed to. He's not using eye discipline. Guy runs right by him. Mississippi State touchdown. Daniel Harris letting the guy run by him down the sidelines for a big 50, 60-plus play for Mississippi State. And again, that was their first down of the game, and it came on explosive play. I'm blanking on the cornerback who gave up the last touchdown. That may have been Julian Humphrey. But it just doesn't look as easy for this group. Whether it's in man or zone, it just seems like they're not always in the position where they need to be. And again, they're not playing to the standard that Kamari Laster and Keely Ringo set for them. They're not playing the way we've seen Georgia cornerbacks play over the last several years, right? And if it's not working, and it's clearly not, you got to mix it up, right? And you don't want to do that when you're going on the road to play Texas. But this kid was a 5-star for a reason. He's been in the program for 10 plus months now. We're halfway through the season. He should be able to find the field and go make plays. At this point, it's hard to say he's going to get better in practice. He's practicing really well, and he's coming off 2 great weeks. He earned the playing time against Mississippi State. He's got to play more. When he makes mistakes and learns from them, that's how he becomes a better player. You become a better player on Saturdays. You practice to be that player during the week, and he's doing a good job of that. But you can't tell me that he's that far behind the cornerbacks who are struggling on the field right now. And again, Georgia saved their NIL funds to make sure he didn't go to Miami. They wanted this kid badly. And if you don't play these kids, they're going to leave, right? A.J. Harris, who is making plays at Penn State right now, he wasn't ready to play last year. And they had Kamari last year. They were deeper at cornerback than they were this year. So I get why he didn't play, but he wanted to play. He didn't, and he transferred. Ellis Robinson could be thinking, hey, man, if these cornerbacks in front of me are giving up these long touchdowns and we're giving up 30 points a game and we're not, it's struggling right now as far as the entire secondary goes, and I'm not playing, why would I stay another year, right? I'm not saying that for him. I'm saying it's got to come through their minds. It comes through everyone's minds, right? At the end of the year, that's where we are in college football. Hey, am I playing enough? Hey, am I getting better? Am I being developed? Whatever it may be, it always could seem like there's something else out there. And again, A.J. Harris probably made the best decision for him. He's making plays, and he's playing really well for Penn State. I'm not sure he would be starting. There's no guarantee he'd be starting over Daniel Harris and Julie Humphrey, although the opportunity is there, and it's there for Ellis Robinson right now. And again, he's just a freshman. I get that, but he's the future. You got to see what you have from him, especially after last week. The cornerbacks just aren't playing well, right? I think every area of the defense could be playing better, but if you had to look at one glaring issue, it's the cornerback spot. I'm going to continue talking about this in just a second, but before I forget, because we're getting towards the latter part of this video, collegebronze.com. That's where you can get the #1 Georgia Bulldog statue on the market today. Promo code DOGPOST, DAWGPOST. That's the only place where you can get a discount on this bad boy right here. Put him anywhere in the house. He's going to look great. All the information is in the description below in this video. Don't miss out on the discount. Promo code DOGPOST, DAWGPOST. So, things aren't going to get easier for Georgia's secondary. Texas is the biggest challenge. Florida's got a new quarterback. DJ Lagway is going to be starting the rest of the year with Graham Mertz out. He can sling it. He's raw, but he's extremely talented. Tennessee's not moving the football the way I thought they would be. Nico is not the quarterback yet that I think he can be. Ole Miss can move the ball, but they can also struggle at times too. And Jackson Dart, he looks great at times, and then sometimes it's, not so great. But they're going to want to push the ball downfield on Georgia. Everyone is. They saw what Mississippi State did, and they're seeing these cornerbacks, and they're saying, hey, this might be Georgia's weakest cornerback room in years. We need to attack them. We need to push the ball down the field. And even if it's incomplete, there's always a chance of, bad technique turning into a pass interference, right? And Ellis Robinson has good technique. That guy looks for the football when it's in the air before it gets there, so he can go make a play on it. We're just not seeing a lot of fundamentally sound, coverage right now. We're not seeing great technique. We're not seeing guys turn around for the ball when they're right there in the wide receiver's hip pocket. Don't continue to run into him. Don't grab him. Reach for the ball. Turn around, go get the football. And that's what Ellis Robinson can do. And again, the defensive line could play better. It's tough to play in the secondary and the guys aren't getting pressure up front, right? You can't cover forever. But they still have to do a better job. And I think Ellis Robinson coming in could shake some things up. But at some point, you gotta see what you have with this kid, because they're all free agents, right? In a way. So, you recruited him. You spent a lot of time and resources and NIL money to keep him on the commit list and not have him flipped to Miami. You got to play him, especially when the guys in front of him simply aren't getting the job done. There's no Kamari Laster starting right now at Georgia. And, Keely Ringo had his ups and downs. He at least made big plays occasionally. Yeah, he was good for a pass interference call, at least once a game, and he got beat here and there. But he made plays also. These guys aren't making plays. That's got to change soon. Ellis Robinson can make plays. So if you're Kirby, when do you make that decision to say, you know what, this kid's earned at least more playing time? I'm not saying start him against Texas, because again, that could be a disaster. But at some point, and you don't want to throw him out there against Florida either, biggest rivalry you have all year. But at some point, again, we got to see Ellis Robinson. I think we're going to see more of him against Texas. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Appreciate y'all watching. Big week over on Dog Post. Make sure you're reading everything we have over on the website. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there.